So about 2 years ago, I got into the Senran Kagura franchise. I really didn't play every game, but I did play the three games that I was able to get a hold of on the PS4. That being Senran Kagura Burst Renewal, Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, and Senran Kagura Estival Versus. Now, in order of how I got these games, I got Peach Beach Splash first, because it was the only Senran Kagura game I could even find at the time. And then I got luckier later. I went back to the GameStop store. I found Burst Renewal, and then I eventually got Estival Versus, and things just went from there. So I was wondering, okay, I didn't know much about the series. I knew characters, and I thought, man, these characters look cool as shit. You know, I don't know. I mean, everybody talks about it highly, so I was like, you know what, might as well try it. You know, try the series out for myself. Like, who knows? Maybe I'll like it. Maybe I won't like it. Who knows? So I played Peach Beach, I played Burst Renewal, I played Estival. But today I'm only going to be talking about Burst Renewal because I feel like it's the game with the strongest story. Now in regards of like the actual story itself, I like the idea of like, you know, having two factions fight against each other. Like, I think that's like the most simplest thing I can get into, you know? Like, hey, you get these two factions, these two schools of ninja girls fighting against each other, each unique in their own way, and I like that. It's simple, but yet it kind of goes into a good direction of how how there's like good shinobi and evil shinobi, right? But they kind of twist the concept of evil on its head, where like, you know, the girls on the evil side they don't seem necessarily evil, you know, they'll accept anyone who would essentially who have been abandoned, you know, like, hey man, you know, you've been abandoned by society, you've been looked down upon. We're here at Heavy Joe, we'll accept anyone, you know. I like that. Like, I really do like that, and the characters really make it strong for me. People love the Heavy Joe girls, and I like them. I like them from a design standpoint. Really, I like their characters. It's like, this is Burst Renewal. This is their first outing, and this is like before they're kind of bastardized in the later games. But here, I think every character is their strongest here. I like them. Even in characters like Katsuragi, who I don't like at all in the later games, I like her here because all the characters feel strong. And I like, because like all their stories kind of tie into to the game itself. And if it didn't, you know, things would be a lot different. But as the games go on, you can see more of the characters underneath the surface. Shit actually happens that doesn't seem, you know, wacky and out of place. Because like the other two Senran Kagura games I've played in regards to Estival Versus and Peach Bleach, something wacky has to happen in order for them to have stakes. In this game, it actually has stakes just between, it's more level, you know, like more grounded. It's just these two schools fighting back against each other, and, you know, not really going on philosophical rants or anything between each other, but it's more like, you know, why are you doing this? You're not, like, we're evil, okay? We're evil, we're seen as evil, but we're willing to accept people. You're this good school, but you're strict and stuck in your ways, and so stuff like that. Like, all the characters I feel like are pretty strong here. Like, I don't think I even found a weak character in regards to this game. I think the one character I didn't find all too interesting for me personally is Icarga. Now, don't get me wrong, she's pretty interesting and I like her, but at the same time, I'm like, like, if I never really felt much for Icarga, and the same goes for Yomi. Like, Yomi, personality-wise, I like her. But, like, actually, no, just design-wise, I kind of like Yomi. I get her idea of her, you know, being poor and kind of looking down at rich people because, you know, they have the good life and she doesn't and shit like that. But it kind of goes into more of, hey, you know, you wouldn't give me a second glance if I wasn't, you know, on a team with you or something like that. Like, you know, for the more richer characters. I like that. It's just Yomi herself, I don't know, man. It's just something about her, it doesn't click with me. I guess it's her gameplay, it doesn't click with me either. I cannot deal with her gameplay. But other than that, my favorite characters, you know, like, my favorite characters have to be like characters like Rin. Because I like Rin. I mean, I like Daidoji more because like Daidoji, like, her design just looks the coolest out of all the characters in Senran Kagura. Asuka was also my favorite. People kind of, you know, rag on Asuka for not apparently not being interesting enough. But I personally find her interesting. I know that she has like a crush on this boy, right? And the crush on the boy kind of doesn't really play too much into the games, which I kind of feel bad about. You figured that would have worked more in her favor, you know? Like I feel like, oh, you know, maybe Asuka and this guy, you know, maybe he will become plot important later. He does crop up later, so I can't really say anything much, but he doesn't play into it. It's just kind of like, you know, background stuff like, hey, hey, you know, she's has this crush on this boy, and there he is. You know, like it's weird to me, but you know, I'm not gonna, you know, complain too much about it. I feel like if I complain too much about it, this whole video would just be complaining like, hey, why is that random faceless boy? Where is that random faceless boy from earlier in Senran Kagura? Where the hell did he go? But yeah, like I like all the characters. Honestly, I can't really find a character I you know, don't like in this game because it's really hard. And it has to be just like this game alone. Now, if we're talking about other Senran Kagura games, like later down the line, then I'll have a problem. But just strictly based on burst renewal alone, I find the characters pretty strong. I like the ties between characters and how they have like their kind of own, you know, their own reflection in the, like how the guessing girls have like a reflection in the Heavy Joe girls, and I like that. You know, they parallel each other pretty well without trying to force it together. Like, oh shit, characters like, you know, this upbeat, ready to go Kaizouwar. Her counterpart is this more, you know, somber, not really emotional Hikage, and you know, even though Hikage is kind of dumb shit where like, you know, oh, I don't have any emotions, you know, yeah. I feel like that kind of silly because she does have emotions. It's just more like she doesn't want to believe so. I kind of get that, but I'm like, whatever. But yeah, I personally believe this game has a really strong story. I also like the ending too, where like it's like the most anime ending ever, where freaking you got Homer releasing her epic sword and gaining like freaking Super Saiyan God hair, and then like she has to fight by Asuka, who finally lets down her hair, and like they use the power of the evil and good scrolls and shit like that, and go full on anime, and then like the giant 8-headed snake Yamata no Orochi comes out of, you know, pops out of the scroll and takes over freaking Homer's body, and then Asuka has to fight. It's anime as shit, but I love it. This is anime, but this really anime. But I was expecting the game to end like that, but it had to end on a cool ass scene. Like, I guess it wasn't all too bad. But so yeah, the story was actually pretty great. I find this game has the strongest Senran Kagura story because Peach Beach and Estful, from what I've played both games through, and their stories are kind of lame. I mean, they have funny moments, but like if I played Peach Beach first, and it didn't let me give a damn about the characters. Not gonna lie. But when I played this game, I'm like, oh shit, they're all pretty interesting. I like them, you know. Hibari became my favorite. Like the moment, like even before playing the other games, the moment I played Peach Beach, Hibari became one of my favorites. I like her. It's just something about her voice and her design that you know, pulled me forward. I was like, oh, she's cute, you know, like cute. I like cute, and like, I like cute. So you know, Hibari is like really cute. So you know, there you go. There's your cute quota for today. But yeah, I like Hibari. Hibari's my favorite, but you know, she kind of got sidelined as I played the games more. Daidoji came into the picture, Asuka came into the picture, Rin came into the picture. Like, these characters look cool as shit. They look very distinct. Like, if I looked at them from far away, I was like, oh shit, that's let's say someone like Mirai, you know? Like, oh shit, I look far away, there's Mirai right there. You know, I like that. I like when characters are, you know, easily recognizable, and I like that because, you know, if I see a character that kind of blends in with the crowd, it's going to bother the shit out of me, and I'm not going to like that. Oh man, one thing I wish about the games, I wish that Daidoji kind of played a part into it. I know they kind of stuffed Daidoji at the end for being, because she's, you know, she doesn't go to school anymore. She's their senior, but she's like the eternal senior, like the eternal student, I guess, and I get it. She's like a good like post-game final boss. I just wish she played a more part of the role in the story for, you know, I mean, she does pop up, like, I think, like, once earlier in the story, but whatever. But yeah. So now we can get on to gameplay. Now, Senran Kagura is a straight-up, you know, beat-em-up style game. You're plopped into this area where there's a bunch of enemies spawning around, you kill the enemies, etc., etc. See, the thing about this game that gets me is, like, you know, the game isn't so basic. You know, you got moves and shit to pull off. You got certain combo strengths you can pull off. You know, you can level up your character in various ways to learn more skills. And it's not just like, not just one way. You can actually level up various ways. Like, hey, you can level up a character, character's moves, you can level up their base level, you know, etc., etc. You know, simple shit. Each character has their own set of skills and everything, so each character plays somewhat differently, which is pretty great. And I mean, if it did, like, the thing about this game is, like, it's pretty fun to play, you know? I have managed to actually 100% this game, which I have never done with any other game ever before. Like, I've gotten all the trophies of this game, which is the first time I've ever gotten all the trophies in a video game before. I have never played a game where I got a platinum trophy. So, you know, the fact that I was able to do it here is really amazing. And, yeah. Honestly, the gameplay, Senran Kagura Burst Renewal is pretty fun. It did improve on some things, because this is a remake of the very first Senran Kagura game, right? Back on the 3DS, and I saw footage of the 3DS version, and it looked kind of jank, but, you know, I'm glad they remade it here. It improved a lot on what they did for Estival, because Estival Versus, I played that after Burst Renewal, right? And it felt clunky to me. Like, it didn't feel like clunky, but it felt like something was off, you know what I mean? Like, there was something clearly off about the game, and it didn't feel right playing it. And I was wondering, what the hell's happening? Why do all my characters feel so stiff? One, I found out the lock-on button for Estival was on the damn D-pad, which I'm like, why would you put that there? And even so, like, characters don't have knockback like they do in this game. Like, on Estival, kind of characters kind of stand there, you know? And, like, at least on this game, characters have, like, you know, knockback, which is actually pretty, you know, fair. I'm glad, because thank freaking God, because I was going to lose my shit if I had to play, you know, any more dumb shit. But this game isn't really cheap. I can actually, like, read the characters' movements before I start shit. You know, I could chase them, like you do in every Senran Kagura game. You know, they have, like, a... One thing I don't like about this game, and I think this happens with all the Senran Kagura games, is that, like, hey, you know, you got a character that will, you know, they'll transform to their shinobi garb, you know, they'll fight, and then, like, you're like, okay, what the shit? Then they go back to full health, which makes the fight even longer. Now, if you're fast enough, you can actually, like, you know, stop the character before they're transforming, but it's rare that happens. And on top of that, you gotta do, like, big damage to them to do that, and it kind of sucks, really. Like, so, like, it's like bad on Estival, but I'm not gonna talk about Estival. But in here, like, you know, you can kill a character before they transform. You know, you gotta be really careful and shit like that. You know, you got tails and stuff like that. You got tails. If you break their outfit, you know, you got time before they burst back, you know, fight you back and shit like that. So, you know, it's pretty fun. I think my personal favorite characters to play as is, like, Homura, and Asuka. I like the faster characters on this game because, you know, they feel snappier and easier to control. You know, characters like, I think Ren is pretty fast too, but I only played her, like, a couple of times because, like, once I got her, I had, like, a bunch of items left over before you can level up characters. And I forgot. I forgot the play as her. I kind of just burnt all my level up items because I didn't feel like playing her because I was already done platinuming the game. I was like, ah, shit, I don't want to do it. But other than that, yeah. And there's also the customization options. But before I even get into, like, the other characters, can I express that making characters DLC in this game was really dumb? Estival Versus had, like, a shit ton of characters, including characters from goddamn Ikitosen, for Christ's sakes. And, you know, I didn't buy that DLC, but, you know, I should have. So, yeah, the point is, like, you know, some characters, there's a bunch of characters, right? There's a bunch of characters in Estival Versus, and so when they made this game, they took a bunch of those characters out, leaving you Hanzo. I keep saying Gessen. Shit, I kept saying Gessen. Hanzo. That's Asuka's school. I keep saying Gessen. Freaking Yumi, goddammit. Anyway, Hanzo, they gave you Hanzo, and they gave you Hebijo. And with DLC, you can get Gessen, and you can get, oh my god, what was the other school's name? God, I forgot Miyabi's school that fast. I know where it is. It's just my mind is not coming to my brain right now. The point is, they took all the characters out from Estival and then dumped them as DLC. One, I find that pretty scummy. It's pretty scummy, you know. I have the Yumi DLC, and the only reason I had that is because I bought the tailor-made edition for this game. So, you know, that's the only reason I have Yumi's DLC. And on top of it, you only get Yumi, you know? That's what gets me the most. You only have Yumi? Like, I feel like if you unlock her school side, you can unlock, you know, her characters, but, like, apparently not. So, you know, characters like Ryobi, Riona, you know, Yozakura, you know, shit like that. So a character like them, they're gone. Shit. So Sucks balls, but, you know, whatever. But yeah, I don't like that. I mean, the thing about this game is that, like, it plays a lot better than Estival, at least for me. Estival has more characters, but they fixed some stuff regarding the gameplay in this game where it's a lot more fun to play. But, you know, limited characters and limited stuff to do is pretty garbage, man. It's like, you're getting a game that plays better, but you're getting less content overall. Like, there's less content in this game than the previous one, which bums me out. And I get it, it's a remake. But, I don't know, they could have found a way to stuff it in without trying to charge your ass extra money for this shit, man. But all in all, this game has way less content than Estival, and that bums me out, because Estival's a good game. You know, Estival's a good game, and like, you know, if it plays like jank sometimes, or half the time at least it was fun to play, you know. But damn, dude, this game plays a lot better, and on top of that, like, you got less shit to do unless you want to shell out the money for DLC, which I am not a fan of. I am not a fan of that. But, you know, I guess in order to get a much better story and characters that flow with each other, you have to take a big L somewhere, which pisses me off, but whatever. Yeah, this game it's fun to play, man. It really is fun to play. It really is fun to play. The characters are all really enjoyable. The music's pretty decent. Nothing will ever top Estival Versus soundtrack, but Burst Renewal's soundtrack is pretty decent. There's also the dressing room mechanics, which they took out the affection shit from like previous Senran Kagura games where you can kind of play around with the girls. You can't do that anymore, and it's not a thing that kind of really affected the game all that much. I rarely used it. It was fun to see the girls' reactions and everything, but other than that, it wasn't really important to the game. Now, I don't like, even if it's pointless content, I don't like seeing shit taken out of games, you know? It really pisses me off when shit gets taken out of games, but I think like this wasn't really too much. I get it, you know, Sony's all like, haha, no fan service in my game. You know, despite everything else about the game being said, I guess, you know, the affection shit wasn't really worth saving, so, you know. I guess something had to give, I guess, because Senran Kagura couldn't have gone so long without this shit. But yeah, overall, it has like less content than Estival, and I get it's a remake of the first game, but like you get so little. Like hell, I bought out the damn store before I even finished the Heavy Joe side. That's what gets me. I mean, granted, there's some things you couldn't get on the Heavy Joe side, like, you know, there's like cut-in art and, you know, blah blah blah. But I managed to buy out everything in the store regarding outfits and shit, accessories, outfits, pictures, videos, music, and voices. I managed to buy out all of that before I even finished the Heavy Joe side, and I still got money left. So, you know, yeah. I mean, at least I can buy it naturally instead of freaking Estival Versus this dumbass way of having to play the lottery in order to get some exclusive shit. I like this way better. I can just buy the stuff outright. I mean, the lottery is a good alternative, but the freaking outfits in that game is way too expensive. At least this game, you can just grind out the items, and I'm cool with that. You got less to work with, but hell, at least you got something, man. Like, but yeah, like, you know, obviously all the money from this game is being made in DLC, and it sucks because the game actually plays fun. This is actually a fun game to play. Like, I managed to platinum it, for Christ's sakes. I would have never platinum another game if I didn't like playing it. Granted, it's like literally the only platinum I got on a video game so far, but still, it's a fun game to play. I'm not a fan of the DLC practices because like all the other characters that were in Estival are DLC, and that sucks, man. Like hell, if you want a much better, it's hard to just say this. If you want a much better story with tighter gameplay than Estival, play Burst Renewal. You know, find it on the cheap, please do. You know, at least that way you can justify buying the DLC. But if you want a game with a lot more content, a lot more characters, a lot more story shit, play Estival. And Estival has a much better soundtrack. I'm just gonna get that out there right now. Estival has a much better soundtrack, dude. Much better. I am sorry, but yeah, Estival has a way better soundtrack. But granted, that came after this game. You know, this game's technical launch on the 3DS, so it came after that. So I can't really rag on it too much. But yeah, Burst Renewal is pretty fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I might play it again just for the hell of it sometimes. I still got Estival to beat completely because there's still some Shinobi Heart Girl stories in there I haven't beaten yet. and they take forever. Honestly, this game's a lot. Like, I like playing this game more because it's a lot snappier. But I've done everything in the game right now. You know, I've done everything. At least with Estival, I still have more shit to do. But in this game, I've 100%ed it. I've done, and I've never actually gotten to that point in a video game in my life before where I 100% everything. Like, the only thing the one thing I still have left to unlock is I think like a couple I think it's a couple of something else. I can't remember what it was. There's something else I got unlocked. But the point is, yeah, that's the end of this video. Overall, yeah, if you guys want to try Senran Kagura, I highly recommend you try this game out first. It's a pretty fun game, snappy gameplay, great characters before they get bastardized in the other games. Please play Burst Renewal. You know, it's super cheap out there, so if you can find a copy, man, please do. It's pretty fun, enjoyable game. So yeah, if you're into beat 'em up style games, I highly recommend you play this. Honestly, it doesn't get really annoying like Estival Versus does. Estival Versus has some really annoying bullshit that makes the game a drag to play through. Like, even with these two stories of this game, it took me way less time to beat Burst Renewal than Estival, which is so weird. Estival Versus is still a fun game to play, but holy shit, like there's some jankiness in that gameplay sometimes, man. But anyway, yeah, that's it, guys. See y'all next time. Peace out. I am out of here.